Welcome everyone to another Awakening Spiritual Gifts show every weekday at 11 a.m. Mountain. We're glad to be here. And this is something that is really like near and dear to our hearts to be able to do these weekday broadcasts for you because we see how much it helps all of you, like in your comments and how you're asking and what you're struggling with and what you're curious about. And we love all this interaction, and it gives purpose. It gives us more purpose to our business. So we appreciate you all being here.
Yes, we do. It is a highlight of the day. That is for sure.
Totally. All right. Well, let's dive into the daily energy, Martina.
Okay. Yeah. Let's look at this. I did not tap into it before this call, so it's going to be a surprise for me too.
All right.
Come up. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So hold on. I'm just looking at a couple things here. There's a lot of energy on this one. While I'm looking at it for a minute, Christy, do you want to remind everyone we've got that free training that we're giving to this afternoon?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll do some announcements. Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, shout out to all of the members watching today too. Like we welcomed a bunch of new members into both the Intuition Gym, which is our paid membership, as well as the Intuition Playground, which is our free Facebook group. And we have this really cool training that is coming up today, actually, at 1:30 p.m. Mountain. And there is a replay available. So if you're not able to be there live, no worries. Still, you want to register so that you can receive that replay via email when it's ready. So the link for that is the intuitiongym.com/gifts. And that is all about how to deepen your understanding and your mastery of your identity, your gifts, and so that you can use those things, that knowledge to fulfill your purpose. So we have quite a few people signed up already, and we're super excited to do it. Like, in fact, right before this, we were just finalizing some slides and finalizing just extra little final touches. And it's really going to be a good training. So I'm very excited for it.
Me too. Okay, let's look at let's dive into the energy of the day. So it was kind of interesting because when I started looking at it, there was just almost these layers that I could see, and they had totally different energies. And so I'm like, well, what does this mean? Like, this over here is going this way, and this is doing this over here. So I just kind of lean into it and see what else was there. And what it looks like is that there's almost, it reminds me of kind of like if you've ever seen oil and water, or like a lava lamp, like it has two different liquids, in the same container, and they just kind of move a little bit separate, they're part of the same container. So that's what this energy looks like. So one of the top energy, which is closer, I can see a lot of light, a lot of like golden threads, a lot of kind of divine heavenly help type energies. And it has a bit of, I'm seeing almost like structures being formed in the energy where it looks like pillars. So it looks like in heaven energy, it's super busy. Like there's a lot going on. There's some things being built, being sent down. The way that it comes down to us and connects up high, it really makes me think that this is something about our connection, our ability to receive, prayers, information, inspiration, all of that stuff. Like we can reach up easier, and then down, heaven can reach us easier. It just has that kind of vibration there. But then when I look down below at the other energy that is kind of swirling through, it's a softer color. There is a little bit of grays and like blue hues through it, but it gives kind of a peaceful feeling, a little bit more like here, like peace, be calm. Some of the gray going through is it just feels like there could be, sometimes there's positive more light and shadow parts to all of these energies. So the gray parts are more like a lull, like, what's going to happen? Like, I feel like there's, something that I want to have changed or whatever, but it's just kind of bleh right now. But the blues that I'm seeing is very much that peaceful kind of energy. And so it feels as if it's a warm blanket being laid and kind of laid upon the earth and going through the wind of let's just a little bit healing. Like, let's just peace, be calm, be still, a very comforting and nurturing type of energy. And then, then of course, but man, that heaven energy or whatever, those higher ones are super busy. So it kind of feels like, let's just take a breath. Let's get some of those peaceful, more healing frequencies. If you're feeling the lull, like, oh, what's going to happen, instead of judging it like it's bad, perhaps you could shift into, like, it's like breathing. Maybe this is just a time to just breathe for a moment and tap into more of the peace. Because obviously with that much energy going on around in like the upper areas, there's some cool stuff coming. Like, for sure, you can't not have cool things happening with that type of energy and that vast amount coming down. So kind of cool today.
Yes, definitely. And if you're listening in the Facebook group, make sure that you also go to this website right here just so we can see your comments. That would be awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so we have Melissa. She says she's having physical body challenges and would love to know what you see.
Okay. Hi, Melissa. Yeah, let's look at your physical, your body today and see what's going on. Okay, the first thing I'm seeing is almost, it first started out with sleep. So I want to ask you how your sleep is. Are you getting enough sleep, enough rest? That could also be like de-stressing, and how's your stress levels and the ability to like rest and restore. So I'm seeing sleep. And then the next thing I'm seeing is it's almost looking like going through a checklist of some of the basic things that your body requires to heal and to feel energized and have the ultimate vitality and health that you can have. So then that brings me to like sleep. Then the next thing I would check is like your hydration levels and your water. How is like your body movement? Are you getting out and moving? How is light? Are you getting light every day? Maybe sunshine or other types of light and kind of the buoyancy there. And then also nutritionally, some of those foundational things that your body requires, like magnesium, potassium, calcium. Have you ever had any thyroid problems? I'm just curious. But selenium, making sure like selenium just came to my mind. And then also to like make sure like your iodine, like just some of those basic things to give your body what, like all of the blocks that it needs to build it to be healthier and feel good. Then beyond that, let me look at your body. Yeah, some of this, I do say something with probably the sleep is making things a little fuzzy or not being able to be able to think as clearly. I'm seeing a lot of cloudiness kind of coming from the head and the mind, and it's also coming down into the heart. So it could even feel heavier, like maybe your heart and things just feel a little bit heavier today. And a lot of it is stemming from not being able to think clearly and have that energy. And some of that I can see coming from, it's like the eyes and the head. So I would love to hear how that resonated with you and see if you can see what things you can do. In fact, the fact that I'm seeing a checklist makes me wonder, do you have a checklist? Have you made a list of things that bring you health? Perhaps that visual that I was shown was specifically for you. Like maybe you've got this checklist that has not been, you're not checking everything off of it right now or something. But anyway, yeah, let us know. Send in love.
Yes, please do, Melissa. All right, Ginger is next. She would love insights on how she can sing better Sunday in church. I have sensory processing sensitivity.
Okay. I'm really curious when you say sensory processing sensitivity, does the singing bring that more, like, does it make it more sensitive? Like, so it makes it difficult to sing because of the sensory issues? I'm going to look at your energy here in just a minute, but I'm just curious if there's any other clarifications there. All right, Ginger, let's look at this. I love this. This is such a pure request. Like singing is so good for the soul, good for your expression, good for praising God. Like, I mean, that is like one of the ultimate is just like to sing praises and worship. Like I love singing. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, I am seeing that some of the sensory energies. It looks a little it looks shaky around you. It's like kind of stressy. I don't know what it does. Does it do something to your eyes when you get it? It feels like just the eyes start getting kind of a nervous twitch and energy to it. Or anything to your ears ringing.
She did report.
Oh, yeah, bright lights and lots of people. Yeah. Okay, that would make sense. I'm like, I'm seeing something with the eyes, and then all of a sudden that right now my eyes are sensitive to light, and then the ears, which would be some of the hearing and stuff. Okay, so let's see here. How can we help? I'm just tracking this for a minute. Okay. So this is, I definitely see that you have some of those empath abilities where you are bringing in kind of absorbing things to you. In the intuition gym, there is a course called Powerful Empath. And so I would recommend even watching some of that. It's really good just to how to navigate some of those more extreme empathic moments. So I do see that you have some of that. But for an answer right now with something that could help you is think about directional energy. So if you're sitting there absorbing it in and it's coming this way towards you, then a great way to stop it from coming deeply into you is just to start reversing the energy. So how can you build up your light, your love, your desire, your energy? Like how can you expand it outward? And I would focus on strengthening that. Some of it could be maybe releasing what other people think a bit more. It could be not being afraid what you sound like more, so you can just express yourself louder. I just also pictured you at church being like this crazy lady, just singing louder than everybody else, full out, full soul, like just out and proud. And I love that. Like, go for it. But like, and especially in that stomach. So the stomach and the heart, the throat, like just send those out. Well, actually all of them, every single like little energy center there that you have in your eyes, the crown of your head, just literally just picture like you're just this, little supernova of light that just the light just exudes out of you and it's filled with your heart and joy and pureness there. And then because it's going to be going this direction, then it's going to automatically provide some kind of protection and shield from the outer things that would try to come at you normally. It's just like, nope, just blast that light. Shine, shine brighter and brighter.
Love that.
Yeah, love everything you can to just, and I really would love to hear, try it out, and I want to hear how that works for you.
Yes, report back on another show if you can. Okay, I'm skipping around. I'm just going intuitively through the comments, so this isn't necessarily in order. Cheryl is up next. She says, "I'm not sure if you're able to see my comments. Will you let me know?" We can, and we can see your photo. Beautiful photo. I'm really struggling today and need some direction.
Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, thanks for doing that so we can see your face on here. I love to see the faces and the names. First and foremost, I feel you. I feel that heart. Okay, I'm gonna just look and see here. What?
I'm feeling it too.
I'm feeling it. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to cry with you. I don't even know the details of what you're going through, Cheryl, but I feel it, and you're I just felt like letting you know you're not alone in this. I feel a message of letting you know that I feel like it's telling you that your prayers are being heard and answered, even though you may not see them. I'm seeing your voice like crying out and like calling out. And it just feels like there's love and just letting you know that you're not alone and you're heard. Those are not falling on deaf ears. Um, I see a lot of maybe hurt, and also I'm seeing things in your eyes, and maybe there's some things you just are trying to figure out. What do I do? Maybe worrying about something, trying to make some decisions. Like there's just something here. Like I'm just looking at the situation and whatever is in front of you, and seeking answers and solutions. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to invite you to do is to put your hand on your heart. There's I want you to almost imagine too, like when you're holding a newborn baby, what do we just automatically do whenever we hold a newborn baby? We're like, we like rock them automatically, right? So there's some very soothing aspects to rocking, but you don't have to literally rock if you don't want to. But right now, I'd love for you to put your hand over your heart, maybe even rock. I would actually, but just kind of like just rock and put your hand over your heart. This is going to help just comfort and to soothe the heart. Okay. It's almost like calming it down, like it's okay. It's okay. Let's just put it here. And then also, I would encourage you or invite you to go ahead and take some deep breaths and to remind you of we've got our parasympathetic and our sympathetic nervous system. Okay. And so when we're going through hard things, it puts us in that high stress, fight or flight mode. And it can feel big and scary and emotional. And some of the physical symptoms that it immediately does is it shallows your breath. It starts shifting energy from like your core operating system, like your digestion system. Like it's like, oh, we don't need to digest right now. We're going to send our energy to our outer extremities. So when you stay in that place, it can then start messing with your internal organs and sleep. And I mean, it can just affect a lot of things. So we're going to breathe. We're just going to take some breaths. Fill that chest and then fill your stomach and then exhale and relax them both. And then you can even do a little bit of this. We're just going to bring you out of that fight or flight and back into letting you know that it's going to be okay. I don't know everything that's going on, but I just want to tell you that I know that it can be okay. Maybe it's not okay right now. Maybe there's a lot that you're dealing with right now, but it can be okay, and that you're not alone. And that you're seen. You are seen. You are not forgotten. I see a great in your great and beautiful heart. I see concern and like taking care of other people. It focuses outward toward a lot of people. Oh, yeah, okay. I just read this comment. Yeah, I see that. Like focus on so many other people that it's just this focus outward. That sometimes the inside and you get forgotten in the mix. And it's not because you're not doing it on purpose, but it's just that you just care so greatly about other people. So breathe, allow yourself to inhale. One of the things, and I feel like this would be really important for you to know in relation to breathing. I'm going to quickly tell this, but I don't know if you're familiar with the Dr. Emoto's work. He's the one that did all those water crystals with words and phrases. And then he also did tons of other research. That's like the most common experiment he did, but he's done tons and tons of other research with other things. And one of them was to look at crystals of different elements and then see what patterns match some of the emotions. And what was really fast, like mercury had similarity to anger. Anyway, but what was really fascinating was that hydrogen and oxygen most resembled gratitude and love. So our water or our body is made up, right? Primarily water. Hydrogen is like gratitude and oxygen is like love. So that's like 2 parts gratitude, 1 part love, right? The water inside of us. But the air that we breathe, the oxygen is the one that resembles love. So by you just breathing in and inhaling and giving yourself more oxygen, just taking that time for yourself and to receive, then because you can receive more, then it will strengthen you and strengthen your ability to even help others too, right? You'll be filled with more love. But I just feel like really just letting you know to take those deep breaths and let yourself receive all the love you can. Receive God's love, receive our love, and know that you're not alone and you're very, very loved by many. So that's my message for you today.
Awesome. Yeah, please let us know how that resonates, Cheryl. And we're all sending you love. There's a couple comments in the feed too. Melinda is next. She would like you to look at the reproductive system. And it's been a while since a miscarriage, and just something insightful to help with some peace.
Oh my goodness, today is a day of many tears. So I really get that. Hold on. So I'm gathering that your reproductive area is just weeping. It's just crying. And there's just a lot of tears and sorrow. And so it's as if think about when you're going through a hard day and you're crying, like you just want to hunker down in your bed and just like hide from the world. That's kind of what your reproductive area is going through. There's just this sorrow and weeping there. And so it's like, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just going to eat my chocolate and lay in bed and hide under my blankie. I mean, like that's kind of energetically what it's doing here. So there's different aspects to this. First is to be patient with the process of grieving and allowing that. Like, who's to say that tears and crying and sorrow has to be fit into okay, you get 1 week to grieve and then move on, or 1 month to grieve and then move on. That's just not the way grief works, especially grief. Grief is one of those crazy things that can then pop up on you like later down the road. And even though you thought you were doing better, it just blasts you out of nowhere and you just are crying puddle on the floor. So definitely be like super, super like loving to yourself and allow that process. And then so there's the allowing, and then there's the other aspect of what can we do to even help it even more. And I'm seeing that allowing some of the energy, which I know you, so I'm thinking you've probably already done this, but maybe there's more that you haven't done. But I'm seeing this energy coming up from that area, and it's just like coming up out of the body and wanting to come out the mouth. So I'm thinking maybe you've got to actually mourn or cry or process even more verbally. Feels like there's just a bunch more to get through that way. Also, too, it could be this is not even just around like child, like getting physically pregnant, but there's also some kind of grieving about some of your other creations. That whole area is like really connected to our passion, our drive, our creations. And so it feels like there's some kind of disconnect or some kind of sadness too around not getting some of your creations out and expressed, and then even out into your hands. Goodness, do you have a lot of ideas, a lot of things in the works, like a lot of things you want to do, or like that almost were like babies, like little projects that you wanted to do and you didn't get your projects out? It feels like there's something with that as well. So just some patience and some working on some of those projects, bringing them into reality, like a physical world. And then also the last thing that's coming up here, and this is interesting, but it feels like I just want to share with you to sing praises and gratitude. Like there's something that I'm seeing this. So there's that energy wanting to come out of your mouth, but I'm also seeing like a singing, like raising up your voice to God in like complete gratitude and love for everything that you're experiencing. Like the pains, I can't even tell you. I mean, there's been times I've just been like sobbing in so much pain, but yet I still will sit there and be, thank you for this pain that I'm going through. Thank you for the lessons that are coming and the things I'm learning. But this hurts so bad, but I'm so thankful for it. It's like that kind of thing. But oh my goodness, sing praise. Okay, that's it then. Because I'm seeing the singing, like a singing praise and gratitude. That is so cool, Melinda. Because it does. It's just like it just sees like it just lifting you up out of it and endowing you with more strength and abilities than you ever knew possible. In fact, I even just want to encourage you, you ask for that. Ask for the very like powers of heaven to be bestowed upon you because you have that ability to do so as as one of God's children. So pray, praise, sing. I love it. Do it. Whew, that feels like a good shift. Just even just talking about that.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Thanks, Melinda, for all of that extra insight in the comments. So awesome when we can get comments in real time. And Cheryl, also, who you looked at earlier, she does feel lighter. So that's some good news. I feel like this is like a little breath because it was like a couple of teary readings, right? So Sandy's back about her male coworker. So if you were on yesterday and saw that little love interest story, the little telenovela that we have going on now, he was caught staring at her a few times yesterday. So we got an update on that.
I'm like, I knew it. He was curious. That energy was curious coming your way. So
yeah, so awesome. Okay, so next is Alicia. What is blocking her from letting go of times that others have broken my trust with them? I feel like I've forgiven, but it doesn't leave, and I'm still reminded of it. I want to be able to think of it and think of or remember no more.
So this is really interesting, Alicia. I'm reading that question like it's more of like a surface question, but I feel the vastness behind that question. Like it feels like this isn't just like, oh, someone just broke a promise, like a little promise. It feels like there's some big things behind that question. And sometimes one of the first things that came up for me in my mind is that sometimes trust is a process. Like, forgiving and trust are two different things. You can forgive a person, but it might take a little time to truly just rebuild that trust. It might have to, it might require some experiences with them where their behaviors or their actions or whatever they say they're going to do, they do it in a way that it's like, oh, okay, look, I can trust them with that. But also, honestly, too, like part of this is I know it's possible. I experienced like a miracle trust thing in my first marriage. There was quite a bit of betrayal there, and there was a time that I was like, I cannot even function right now because I cannot handle all of this betrayal and broken trust there, and it was eating me alive. And I literally went to bed one night and I was just like praying and sobbing and just pleading with God, like, please, like pleading with the Lord, like, take this from me. Like, please just take it from me because I don't want this anymore. And then the very next morning, I woke up and it was gone. And I felt like I trusted as if it were like the very beginning of our marriage again. Of course, his behaviors later down the road continue down that path. And but for me, so when things started coming back to my memory and maybe not trusting enough, I knew that it wasn't me. I knew that it was maybe some of those behaviors, but I honestly at that moment was able to trust again. So I do believe in miracles, and I do believe that it can happen. I do believe that it can also, through prayers and all that. Also too, so that's one element of it. The next thing that I'm seeing with like the trust again is, and this is kind of a scary step, but this is agency. This is you choosing to trust. So like taking those leaps of faith, going, this is scary and I don't trust right now, but I'm going to choose to trust. Do you see what I mean there? It's like, just because you don't feel it doesn't mean that you can't do it, but it can take effort and a conscious choice. And then it might even take like, I'm going to choose to trust. And then as things keep popping up, it's like you got to like flick them out of your brain and go, no, 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 I'm choosing to trust. I'm choosing to trust. I'm choosing to trust. And so it's like, it's not just a one time I'm choosing to trust. It's like you got to keep choosing to trust. And then maybe the next day you got to choose again, and you just choose to trust and choose. And hopefully whatever the other situation or the other people that are breaking some kind of trust are also doing steps and taking efforts to show that they are trustworthy, right? And so between those two things, so you're seeing evidence of it, you're giving it to God, and then also choosing into it each day, each moment, each whatever, then and then over time it can just it's like it can solidify, and it's like energetically I'm seeing what it'll do is it's little ingredients, and then it can go like swirl, and it goes whoop, it's done. Like, so it looks like a little bit of a cool process for you to go through. So let me know how that resonated with you, Alicia. That was kind of cool. I think that was a very awesome question, because I think many of us can relate to that and have situations in our own lives where we got to trust. Like, this life can be messy. You can get hurt. People can betray trust all the time. And it can be scary to put your heart out there continually at risk of being hurt again. So thank you for that question.
Totally. Thank you very much. Okay, well, that's the end of today's show. If we didn't get to your question, please come back on Monday at 11 a.m. Mountain. And also be sure to like our Facebook page so you can be notified when we go live. And also, it helps to spread the message. Like, the more likes, the more on this post, and then the likes on the page, it helps. It helps other people receive help and support as well. So, also, just a final reminder, we have that free new training today at 1:30 p.m. Mountain. You can join us by going to the link on the screen, theintuitiongym.com/gifts. And if you can't make it live, it's okay. We can send you a replay so you can watch it at your own convenience. So thank you so much for tuning in today and participating. And we loved seeing you guys again today.
Yes, thanks for being here, and I hope to see you guys at 1:30. And if not, I'll see you on Monday.
All right. See you
Bye.
guys. Bye.